Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman rahim. Um, we were doing the structures, right?
Yes, sir.
This thing we have done last time, that we said a structure where we can have any many data. So then we say type def. If we do not say type def, then this st will be the variable of struct student, because struct student is now the data type, and the st is the variable having all these things. Now that is in the memory. In memory, this heap, this structure will be created where we have this name and roll number, okay, and all whatever the memory
Yes, sir.
this has, this much of memory will be given, and this whatever the address of the structure is in the memory, say for example it's 1 2 3 4, that will be given to the st. That means st is pointing to the structure. But if we do here,
Struct.
the type def, if we do here what, if we do
Type
here,
def.
yes, if we do the type def, say command z, now this st is not a variable but a, but what, it is the alias of the struct student. So you write struct student, and or you write st, is one and the same thing. So st becomes the alias of struct student, not a variable. So variable abhi banana baki hai. So that is why we created a variable s of type st, variable s of type st, like here
St.
we can say here variable s after st, because now I have created an array. Leave this for a while. So variable s of type st, because st is nothing but struct student. Because you, if you have this data type, like you have an int, okay, if you have int, you have to create of type int some variable, okay. If you have a char,
Yes.
you have to create of type char some variable, and
Variable.
whatever the char says, the memory allocation, that will be given to this variable. Whatever int says, that memory is given to this variable. Similarly, if we say struct student, this is again a data type, okay. Now struct student, whatever that memory it has, it will be given to this variable s, right. But now this st is same as struct student, so you create using like you create using int some variable a. Similarly, you create some variable s using st. Now st is the data type, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now if you have to assign values to the name or roll number, you have to use this s, because I said in the memory there will be some name and roll number, and s is pointing to it. So using this s, you have to say s dot name, s dot roll number to access it. That's what we have done here. We said enter the name, we are dropping into using percent %s for string into s dot name, okay. Similar roll number, we have s dot roll number, okay. And if you want to print that name and roll number, you say s dot name and s dot roll number, you print them, right. यहाँ तक ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, अब हमने एक और चीज़ किया था कि हमने कहा कि भाई मेरे पास ये array है, for example of 5. Now I am creating array of structures. So what is happening by this? By this we are creating an array of structures. That means now we have 5 block array. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 and 5. Index 0 1 2 3 and 4. Now this
4.
block is a structure. Every block is a structure having the name and roll number in it. Name and roll number in it.
Roll
And
number.
array's first block's address is with the s. Is with the, so s is pointing to the first block. Like we have the int array, int ar of size, say for example 2. That means we have the array of size 2, and ar is pointing to the first block, because ar is a static pointer, right. It is a static pointer having
Yeah.
the address of the first block of the array. And now this will be 0, this is ar of 0, this will be ar of 1, right. This block will be ar of 0, this will be ar of 1. because internally it will be AR of 0. So what it does, it see what's the base address and adds the 0 to it. Basically, if the base address is, for example, 100, which is in AR, so address will be 100 plus whatever the memory size is of the integer, say 4 into index 0. So 4 into 0 is 0, 0 plus 100 is 100. So AR of 0 means 100 location, the first block address. Now second block address will be, the base address is 100 plus 4 times 1. This 1 is the index, okay? 4 is the size of this, okay? So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 100 is 104. So this is at the address, definitely if it's 100, so this will be at a 104 address. So we can get using the index. Same has to be done with the array of structures. If we have an array of structures now, right? So we have a structure where we have the first block, which is not now the int, but the whole structure, whatever the structure is, right? This whole much of thing, whatever you put up here, maybe you put up here address character array of 100, you put up fee, you put up other things, all those things will be given in this, whatever the memory. Say for example, this occupies some 100 bytes of memory. So these 100 bytes of these will be all 100 byte memory long, okay? समझ आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Like it was a 4 byte long integer, this will be 100 byte long, and it will have all these things like name, roll number, whatever जो भी चीज़ें इसमें होंगी आपने specify की होंगी, whatever you have specified here, those all things will be given. ठीक है? Now how will you access the first block? Yes, question.
Sir, index.
We use index. So how we use, like we use that here.
सर लेकिन हमने इसके लिए वो वेरिएबल बनाया ना
S.
उसके थ्रू।
मैं बताओ क्या क्या, जैसे यहाँ पे एरर दिखा रहा है ना अभी ये, क्योंकि s डॉट नेम अब कुछ नहीं है। जब ये खाली s था, 5 नहीं था, फिर s डॉट नेम में डाल रहे थे ना हम, क्योंकि एक ही ब्लॉक मेरे पास था और s इसको पॉइंट कर रहा था। सो आई से s डॉट नेम, आई से s डॉट रोल नंबर, बट नाउ इट्स एन एरे।
सर s of 0 must
Yes,
sir, s of
exactly.
0 dot name.
Absolutely. Now it has to be s of 0 of name. It cannot be the s of name, because s of 0 of name, ठीक है? S of 0 of roll number. Similarly, you can print it s of 0 of name, s of 0 of roll number. Now it should not have any problem if we give it a go. There's some warnings. You can give the first name is Junaid, the roll number is say for example 12. It is giving it, right? And now we can use a
Yes, sir.
for loop. We can use what?
For loop.
I can say for I is equal to 0, I is less than 5. क्योंकि 5 है ना मेरे पास, I plus plus.
Yes.
Okay. Now this for loop has to be from here to put a scan of this यहाँ तक, ठीक है? And now I don't say 0, I say I. Okay. Similarly, I can use this for loop again, command C, and I can go here, command V, and I will print this array here, right? Firstly, it will get this. I can say here, for example,
So that must be st of s of I बन करना।
हाँ इसमें I है। Okay, I can say here printf \n scan array of structures. Okay. And command Z /n मुझे करना था इसको, command option down arrow. I want to get it down. It is to be done like this. I cut this here. Command X, Command V. No printing, huh?
Print.
Scanning area, huh? Name. Say for example, Junaid roll number 1, Ahmed roll number 2. Then enter the name, huh? Muhammad roll number 3. Suhail, whatever, roll number 4. One more, huh? Say Jahangir, roll number 5. Now it's printing me back the array of structures, huh? Forward slash.
Yes, sir.
Click on backslash n. Anyways, name is Juni 1, Ahmed, and it's giving all that things, right? Nice. Now we come to the next thing. That is, in a linked list, when I say linked list, it's again what we are trying to do is we are trying to create again an array of structures where we have again the same problems, that if we have, say for example 5 here or 100 here, अगर मेरे पास 100 की मैंने बनाए स्टूडेंट, लेकिन अब 101 मेरे पास स्टूडेंट है या 110 मेरे पास स्टूडेंट है, so I have to discard this array, right? I have to create new, the bigger one. Or I have created a bigger array, say for example offside 1000, and मेरे पास 10 ही स्टूडेंट आए, तो सारी एरे ज़ाया हो जाएगी, है ना? So we say
Yes,
in
sir.
this scenario that we cannot, we need to have a linked list. We need to have what? Linked
Linked list.
list. In linked list we have basically, but before we do linked list we need to know a few more things. In linked list we are saying, technically speaking, that we have a structure here, for example, where we have some kind of a data, right? Whatever the data is, I just write an int data. It could be anything, whatever you like, huh? It can be 10 character arrays, integers, floats, doubles, anything, huh? या जो हमें ज़रूरत होगा रिकॉर्ड के लिए, स्टूडेंट रिकॉर्ड के लिए. अब मैं इसका नाम रखूँगा नोड, फॉर एग्जांपल, टू बी generic. I don't want to be specific to student, then I have to write all the things. I'm saying just a node because what I believe that I need to have in a linked list, a node which is a structure. It can have any data you like, right? Sushan Masla?
Yes, sir.
Any data, but there should be one link part also. Besides what data you keep here, okay, I am writing just as for simplicity's sake, just as simple in data. It could be many thing, right? जैसे अभी हमने name वगैरह किया था, ठीक है? But with that there should also be a link, because जो दूसरा node में बनाऊंगा वो मैं डायनेमिकली बनाऊंगा. स्टैटिकली मैं एरे नहीं दूंगा कि जिसमें ये होंगे पहले से दिए हुए कितना साइज है मेरा, इतना साइज यहाँ पे दिया हुआ 5. I will not do like
Yes,
that.
sir.
I will do it dynamically. I will create this node, this structure memory at runtime whenever I need it. And then when I create the next node, whatever the address of that is, 124 for example, its address is, that has to be put into the link part of this node, so that this is linking to
Node
this.
one.
Okay? You create another node, its
Yes, sir.
address is for example 555. This 555 has to be in the link part of this node. And if this is the last node, then here will be the null. That means it's pointing to nothing.
Now.
So it is called as a linked list. That is what is called as a linked list.
List.
समझ में आया? So that means I not only need to have the data part here, but I also need to have a link. I also need to have a link. Now question arises. What will be this link part? Because you think about it, there are two things. What is the data type in it, and what kind of this is? You will answer me. I am saying, look at here. If we have say integer a, okay, and I am creating integer asterisk pointer. I am creating a pointer, for example, asterisk ptr, okay, and I put into
sir.
PTR ampersand of A, address of A into the PTR, right? Now
Okay,
that
sir.
means if A is of integer type, PTR also has to be integer type.
Integer type.
You know? If say for example A
Yes,
is
sir.
character A, you cannot put A into the PTR which is character and your PTR is integer. ठीक है? अगर मेरे पास character A है, A का data type character है, we cannot put the address of character AR into the PTR. It should be the same, right? If PTR is pointer, A also should be int. If PTR is int, A should be also int. One thing, right? Now use the same logic here. So what I am
तो सर
saying,
अगर डेटा टाइप है सर स्ट्रक्ट
so पहले
तो
जो ये
पॉइंटर
लिंक है, पहले जो लिंक पार्ट है, ये किसको लिंक कर रहा है?
अगले नोड के
So it has to be of the same type ना?
यस सर
जिसका जो ये टाइप वाला है वही बंदा यही है, ये भी सेम है. So it has to point to the node which is of same structure type. Okay?
यस
So
सर
इसका data type क्या था? What was the data type of this node?
स्ट्रक्ट
Struct node, right?
यस सर
So what will be the data type of this node?
स्ट्रक्ट नोड
So what is this pointing to?
इट्स address of the node to
Again struct node, right? So it is pointing
yes
to
sir
some struct node, whatever the data type this, जो इसका खुद का data type है वही इसका data type है, ठीक है ना? नेक्स्ट नोड का, यानी कि इस पॉइंटर का जो मैं यहाँ पे बनाऊंगा, इज दिस अ नॉर्मल वेरिएबल पॉइंटर वेरिएबल? फर्स्टली व्हाट इज इट्स होल्डिंग?
sir it is holding address of next node
So it is holding address. If it is address, is it normal variable?
no sir it is integer
How can this be integer? This link first tell me it's a normal variable or pointer variable.
so link is pointer variable
So it's a pointer variable. So what should I put before link?
pointer
So I should put pointer here because asterisk here, right? So tell us that this is the point. This is not normal variable. This is a pointer variable, right? Whatever the data type, what should be the data type of it?
struct
It should be the struct node. नहीं कौन सा struct यार ये, क्योंकि आपके पास और भी struct, maybe I have another structure of type teacher, of type student, है ना? इसको
yes
पता,
sir
वो तो अलग होंगे ना. For example, I have one more here structure, struct teacher, for example, ठीक है ना? और इसमें मेरे पास है salary, name, पता नहीं क्या क्या, ठीक है? So if I say struct, this is also struct ना? So ये
yes
किसको
sir
लिंक करेगा? ये करेगा अपने आप को लिंक, अपना struct node को, ना कि struct teacher को, right? Getting? So the
yes
data,
sir yes sir
so the data type of this will be struct node, struct node, because it is pointing to the same guy. Okay? Getting, does it make sense?
yes sir
अच्छा जी, तो हमारे पास एक जब ये नोड बन गया अब, तो पहले अगर हम सीधे पॉइंटर की बात करेंगे, उसके बाद ही हम करेंगे उसकी बात ना, ये फिलहाल मैं इसको लेट मी क्लियर द क्लटर. पहले हम करेंगे बात सीधे पॉइंटर की, यानी कि डायनेमिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन नहीं करेंगे, सीधे करेंगे. पहले देखिए कैसे एक्सेस करेंगे हम. नाउ आई वांट टू एक्सेस दिस नोड. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाट इज दिस st? Is this a variable of the struct node? No, it is the
no sir
alias.
alias
So we have to create a variable. I say st type, of type st. I am creating a variable s, okay, and I am creating also a variable, some pointer ptr, okay. So when I say asterisk ptr, what will it hold?
so it will hold the address
Address of whom?
struct node link part
No, not link part. It can hold the address of a structure. So this is same as like this link, but this was inside. This was what?
inside
So it doesn't know about the st, क्योंकि अंदर है ना,
okay sir sir
इसलिए struct
okay
node
sir
किया इसको.
link
Because
part will
st,
struct node star link
see st and struct nodes one and the same thing.
same thing
St or struct node same thing, but I can't use st here because inside it doesn't know about st. But outside I can use either struct node or I can use the st, because alias or the struct node, you can do that, right? So I created two variables.
Yes,
One
sir.
is s, which is a normal variable, and one is a pointer variable. The pointer variable cannot hold the value, right? It has
Yes,
to
sir.
put in it the address. It has to put in it what? Address of some.
Address
It can hold, like we have,
struct.
like we have na, we have for example
Sir, it
integer
means सर जो
asterisk
पॉइंटेड
ptr.
वेरिएबल है वो फुल एड्रेस ले लेगा नोड का
Exactly.
और लिंक वाला पार्ट खाली लिंक का एड्रेस ले
नहीं
लेगा.
यार, ये भी फुल ही लेगा, सेम ही लेंगे, दोनों लेंगे
अच्छा
सेम.
ये भी
देखो int asterisk ptr मेरे पास है. What will the ptr have? Ptr can have the
एड्रेस.
address of some integer variable. So you have to create some integer variable, okay? And you say by address of a go into the ptr. Same is this when you create a node. When you create a node, right?
नोड.
So the link part will hold the address of the next node, right? Right? The link
Yes, sir.
part will hold the address of the next node. And ptr can also hold the address of the first node or the like this node or whatever. इसका address for example 1 2 3 4 है. Where this has to be? It has to be here, because the link part is can have the address of the node,
Yes,
right?
sir.
ptr can also have the address of node, because ptr किसका ptr है? st का ही ptr है. str is nothing but struct node.
Yes, sir.
That is why if I say मैंने एक s variable बनाया ना, I created a variable s. I created a variable what? S. What is s doing? S is doing this thing कि एक ये structure बन गया, ये structure node बन गया. जब मैंने s बनाया तो उस वक्त ये structure बन गया जिसमें data part है और link part है. ये बन गया. अब इसको point कर रहा है s, but s is a normal variable, not a pointer variable. Now I created a ptr जिसमें मैंने डाला address of s, यानी कि s का जो भी एड्रेस था 1 2 3 4 फॉर एग्जाम्पल एड्रेस था, that has gone into the ptr. Now I
Okay.
can access this data and link part using the s. How? S dot data, s dot link, right? है ना, जिसे भी कर रहे थे, जिसे कल किया
Yes,
था.
sir.
S dot data, s dot link. But I can also access using the ptr. But pointer variable, if you print the ptr will print the 1 2 3 4 what is in address. So if you have to print the
Okay.
data, if you have to print what,
S dot data.
you using ptr I am saying na, you can
Okay,
say
PTR
ptr dot data, right? But before
Yes,
you
sir.
say ptr dot data, because it's a pointer variable, you have to use asterisk ptr, that's value at this address.
Okay.
Right? जैसे हमारे पास एक वेरिएबल है int a इज इक्वल 10, और एक और वेरिएबल है int asterisk ptr जिसमें मैंने डाला है एड्रेस ऑफ a. Now if you want to access this 10, you can use the a simply. But if you use the ptr, you have to use the asterisk ptr, value at this address. जो ptr
sir.
है उसका वैल्यू क्या है उस एड्रेस के ऊपर. You have to use the indirection, right? Same is here. You can say asterisk ptr, but you have to use first asterisk ptr dot data, right? Let us do it and you will understand.
Yes, sir.
Like I said here, for example, अगर मुझे सिंपली ना ये करना है डेटा,
Put S.
एंटर डेटा, ठीक है, \n. I can put that data into the scanf %d double close comma ampersand of, किस में डालूंगा मैं, s dot data,
S
right?
dot data.
Okay, फिर मैं सिर्फ डेटा की बात कर रहा हूँ. Now if I want to print it, if I want to
Print.
data is equal to %d double close comma s dot data में प्रिंट करूँगा, ठीक है ना, सिंपल.
Yes, sir. Simple.
इसको क्यों एरर यहाँ पर है, खबर क्या एरर. एंटर डेटा, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल 45, it is saying data is equal to 45. No problem whatsoever. But if I use pointer, if I use, I want
Pointer.
to use not S, I want to use the PTR. I can't say PTR dot data because PTR has address in it, na? PTR has what?
Yes, sir.
So
Address.
I have to use here
PTR.
asterisk
Asterisk.
PTR dot data. Now again this asterisk has to be the in the parentheses क्योंकि डॉट की प्रायोरिटी पहले आ रही है ना, ये गड़बड़ कर रहा है. पहले हम कह रहे हैं उसका वैल्यू निकालो आप एड्रेस, बिकॉज एस्ट्रिक पी टी आर एंड एस इज सेम, राइट. सो इसे एस्ट्रिक पी टी
Okay,
आर
sir.
डॉट डेटा. नाउ इट शुड नॉट हैव प्रॉब्लम, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल वट एवर इट गिव्स द वैल्यू. ठीक है ना, बिकॉज एस्ट्रिक पी टी आर एंड एस इज सेम, राइट. लाइक आई सेड इन माई नॉर्मल इंटीजर जो हमारे पास है, द पॉइंटर जो हमने डिस्कस किया था, जैसे इंट ए है और एस्ट्रिक पी टी आर है ना. सो आई सेड इन टू द पी टी आर ड्रॉप द एड्रेस ऑफ ए. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल ए में 10 है. सो इफ यू प्रिंट ए, व्हाट विल यू प्रिंट इट? इट विल प्रिंट इट 10, राइट. Similarly,
Yes,
if you
sir.
print asterisk PTR, what will you print it? 10.
10.
Value at this address. Because A जो variable है उसका address for example है 1 2 3 4, इसमें है 10. What is in PTR? In PTR we have address of A, that is 1 2 3 4. If using A I can directly access the 10.
Yes,
But
sir.
using PTR I have to use the value at this address. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
value at the address 1 2 3 4? That is 10. So that means if I
10.
say A or if I say asterisk PTR, they are same. Okay. If I say
Yes,
address
sir.
of A and I say PTR, they are same. Address of A is 1 2 3 4. That is what PTR is, right? But if I want to
Yes,
access
sir.
the value, access the,
Value.
that is 10, then I use directly A. For normal variable I use A. But pointer variable I have to see what is the value at this address, because PTR is holding the address. What is
Yes,
value
sir.
at this 1 2 3 4? What is value at 1 2 3 4 is the 10. That's it.
10.
So A and asterisk
Asterisk
PTR are
PTR.
same. Similarly here asterisk PTR and S, they are same because it's a value at this address. But because this is a structure, so I have to use dot operator also, है ना? Because it's a structure. Structure has many
Yes,
things
sir.
in it. It could have many things in it. So if you want to access this, you have to see whatever the variable is, dot this, S dot this, S dot this. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
And we can do one more thing here, that is if I want to have a shortcut of it, if I want to have what? Shortcut
Shortcut.
of it, I can say here let's close it. I can say here I have to use ना first asterisk PTR then dot. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
इसका शॉर्टकट है कि आप अगर पीटी और एस्ट्रिक वेस्ट्रिक के ब्रैकेट ब्रैकेट पेरेंसेस नहीं लगाना चाहते हो तो एस्ट्रिक और डॉट की जगह एस्ट्रिक और आप एरो ऑपरेटर लगाओ.
Dot.
क्या लगाओ?
Arrow operator.
एरो ऑपरेटर कुछ है नहीं, इट इज सेम एज एस्ट्रिक डॉट. यानी कि जो आप करते हो ना एस्ट्रिक पी टी आर डॉट, उसके
Dot
बाद
C.
जो भी आपका है डेटा है, लिंक है, नेम है, क्या है, ठीक है. स्ट्रक्चर में जो वेरिएबल है आपका वो आप एक्सेस करोगे यहाँ पे, ठीक है. लेकिन इस एस्ट्रिक डॉट की जगह आप लगा सकते हो पी टी आर एरो. ठीक हो गया.
ठीक सर.
सो आपको एस्ट्रिक और इसको पहले पेरेंथेसिस भी लगाना है ना एस्ट्रिक, क्योंकि वरना अगर हमने कहा एस्ट्रिक पी टी आर डॉट, डॉट की प्रेसिडेंस ज़्यादा है तो पहले डॉट करेगा, दैट्स रॉन्ग.
Where's Zangabaya? He didn't go into washroom.
वो यू फाइंड. ठीक है. सो इससे
Okay.
पेरेंट्स भी लगाना पड़ेगा, पहले एस्ट्रिक निकालना पड़ेगा, वैल्यू एट दिस, फिर डॉट.
PT.
तो इस सब की जगह हम कह सकते हैं पी टी आर एरो. रखा याद.
Okay, sir.
So that means if I give it a go here, not with the pen, 77, it will give me properly 77, no issues whatsoever. Teachers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have another thing what's called dynamic memory allocation, but we don't want कि भाई मैं वेरिएबल खड़ा करूं यहाँ पे, और मैं वेरिएबल खड़ा ही नहीं करना चाहता. आई डोंट वांट टू क्रिएट वेरिएबल, आई क्रिएट जस्ट एस्ट्रिक पीटीआर. ठीक है. नाउ सी, आई एम क्रिएटिंग एस्ट्रिक.
PTR.
Now tell me one thing. Is in memory this structure being created by saying this? No. Because if I say s of type st बना मुझे variable s. ठीक है. Like I say int a, तो मेमोरी में a की जगह बन गई जिसमें मैं कुछ डाल सकता हूँ, कल 10 वगैरह जो मुझे डालना है. ठीक है. बट इफ आई से int एस्ट्रिक ptr, मेमोरी में तो कुछ बन ही नहीं गया इंटीजर वेरिएबल, बल्कि एक ptr वेरिएबल बन गया जो होल्ड कर सकता है किसी इंटीजर का एड्रेस. ठीक है. जो ptr है ये
Yes, sir.
वेरिएबल खुद है, लेकिन ये कोई इंटीजर वेरिएबल नहीं है, बल्कि ये एक एड्रेस पकड़ने वाला चीज बन गया जिसमें मैं कल को डाल सकता हूं किसी इंटीजर का वेरिएबल का एड्रेस. अगर मैंने कल को कोई इंटीजर वेरिएबल b क्रिएट किया, नाउ ptr कैन होल्ड द एड्रेस ऑफ b, बट ptr in itself doesn't create anything. Similarly here, if I say st of type s, when I say st इनके struct node type बना of s, it will create me a structure. Whatever this structure
Structure.
promises, all these
बिल्कुल
things will
सर.
be created. The
Node
data
and
part and the
link
link
part.
part, right?
Right,
But
sir.
if I do not create the s, if I do not create the, I am not creating
Yes.
any variable of type st, rather I am creating a pointer variable st. This pointer variable
Pointer
will be
variable.
simply one variable in a memory ptr, right? And this ptr can hold the address of some struct node. If you create, yes, next day, if you create sometimes, say for example, if you create a variable, some variable of struct node type, it can, यानी कि अगर आपने वेरिएबल बनाया, कोई नोड बनाया इसका भी जो भी एड्रेस है, इट कैन ऑक्यूपाई दैट 1 2 3 4. So this ptr is simply this thing 1 2 3 4 variable, okay, which is having some address of some struct node type. But only saying struct ptr, st asterisk ptr, it will not create a structure. It will create only the ptr somewhere, which can
PTR
hold the
variable.
address. It's ready to hold the address.
Address.
That means you have to create the node, which you have not created, because I'm not creating a normal variable. ठीक है ना? So if I create
sir.
this node, say for example using dynamic memory allocation, using malloc, okay, so whatever the address generated from this node is, it can occupy that address, it can have that address. ठीक है? बात समझ आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
That thing, I think we'll do that tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir. और सर जो सर इसमें इट मीन्स कि सर जो एक नोड बनता है हमारा, उसमें दो एड्रेसेस होते हैं. मतलब एक स्ट्रक्चर जो बनता है उसमें दो एड्रेस हमारे पास होते हैं. एक उसका बेसिक अपना एड्रेस,
हाँ.
और दूसरा होता है उसके अंदर, उस नोड के अंदर दूसरे लिंक जो होता है, दूसरा नोड जो हम बनाएंगे उसका एड्रेस.
ये मगर दूसरा नोड का एड्रेस उसमें है नहीं, वो डालना पड़ेगा. यानी कि जब हम ये
हाँ,
नोड
तो वो
बनाएंगे,
सब डालना
जब
पड़ेगा.
हम ये नोड बनाएंगे, इसमें डेटा पार्ट बनेगा, डेटा में जो भी आपने रखा होगा, और एक लिंक इज जस्ट अ पॉइंटर. जैसे अभी पीटीआर पॉइंटर बना है, इट्स जस्ट अ पॉइंटर. इट इज नॉट हैविंग एनीथिंग इन इट. इट इज जस्ट अ पॉइंटर विच कैन होल्ड द एड्रेस ऑफ any node if you create, and drop that address into it. It's your job now to drop that address into this link part. ठीक है? So link जो ये है, it is just a pointer. It's a of type struct node.
Pointer.
Of type struct node. That means this link can hold the address of any node which is of type struct node. Not like struct teacher, struct कोई किसी और structure का, सिर्फ इस structure का जिसका data type struct node है. यानी कि अगर आपने इसका कभी वेरिएबल बनाया, या आपने ये मेमोरी डायनेमिकली एलोकेट की, ये मेमोरी आपने, इसमें डेटा पार्ट था और लिंक पार्ट था, ये क्या स्ट्रक्चर बनाया आपने मेमोरी में अब, ठीक है ना? अब इसका एड्रेस होता है. यानी कि ये इस तरह से बात है कि ये स्ट्रक्चर मानो मकान है, हम मकान बना रहे हैं. क्या बना रहे हैं? जो पॉइंटर है वो मकान नहीं है. जो ये पॉइंटर है वो मकान, अगर आपने ऑफ टाइप STS बनाया तो आपने ये मकान बनाया, तो मकान बन गया मेमोरी में, और S इज पॉइंटिंग टू दैट. ओके. बट सेइंग ST एस्ट्रिक PTR, ये PTR सिर्फ एक एंट्री है जिसमें इस एड्रेस जो इसका हाउस है उसका एड्रेस हो सकता है। अगर आपने हाउस बनाया, ठीक है, तो उसका
Yes, sir.
एड्रेस इस PTR में जा सकता है। इसी तरीके से लिंक पार्ट है, अगर आपने ये मकान बनाया, इस लिंक पार्ट में आप ये एड्रेस डाल सकते हो, ठीक है। तो ये जो लिंक पार्ट है ये पॉइंटर वेरिएबल है विच कैन होल्ड द एड्रेस ऑफ दैट स्ट्रक्चर, वट एवर द स्ट्रक्चर इज। लेकिन PTR itself is not the house, you understand? PTR itself
Yes,
is
sir.
not the structure. It is only an entry which can hold the address of that structure, जहाँ पे वो मेमोरी में होगा। अब वो स्ट्रक्चर आप दो तरीके से बना सकते हो, या आपने यहाँ पे वेरिएबल बनाया ऑफ टाइप ST, आपने कोई वेरिएबल बनाया तो बन गया स्ट्रक्चर। आपने S2 बनाया तो भी एक और स्ट्रक्चर बन गया, ठीक है। आपने S3 बनाया, एक और स्ट्रक्चर मेमोरी में बन गया। S इसको पॉइंट कर रहा है, S2 इसको पॉइंट कर रहा है, S3 इसको पॉइंट कर रहा है, एंड सो ऑन। बट इफ यू क्रिएट ST asterisk PTR, it's not creating any structure, it is creating an entry which can hold the address of these structures. फिर आपकी मर्जी है कि आपने किस स्ट्रक्चर का एड्रेस में डालना है, ठीक है। यानी कि उसका मतलब हो गया कि हमने एक PTR वेरिएबल रखा which can hold the address। now आपका काम है कि आप ये बनाओ डायनेमिकली फॉर एग्जांपल, और जो इसमें एड्रेस आ रहा है वो इसके लिंक में इसमें डालो ये 1 2 3 4 so that it can point to it. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं यहाँ पे एक और पॉइंटर बनाऊंगा, एस्ट्रिक स्टार्ट, एस्ट्रिक। So
Star.
what is start? It is again the pointer variable. It's again the, it is same as
Pointer
PTR or
variable.
start, whatever I say PTR or I say start, doesn't matter. I say start, I say PTR. They are only which can hold the address of what? Some node, which is of this data type.
Yes, it's structure.
Consider this structure as a house, ठीक है।
Yes,
अब
sir.
आपको एक PTR, एक छोटा सा पीस ऑफ पेपर है जिसमें आप लिख सकते हो कि इस हाउस का एड्रेस क्या है, या स्टार्ट जो है इट्स अगेन ए पीस ऑफ पेपर जिसमें आप लिख सकते हो कि एड्रेस मेरा है हाउस नंबर 44 लेन ए वट एवर। बट इज STR itself the house? Start,
No, sir.
is the start itself a house or PTR itself house? No,
No, sir.
they are only the entries for storing the address of this house, ठीक है। Now how to dynamically create this house and all, this structure and all, we will do that tomorrow inshallah, ठीक है।
Inshallah. Okay, sir.
Allah Hafiz.